jeez. Tottenham Hotspur get their international Champions Cup campaign underway today at the National Stadium in Singapore. They take on the Italian champions Juventus. Spurs include the likes of Dele Alli, Heung-min Son and Toby Alderweireld in their starting 11. They take on a Juve team that features Cristiano Ronaldo. They've made great signings, including centre-back Matthijs de Ligt, who faced Spurs with Ajax last season, although the young Dutch defender does not start here. And there is Cristiano Ronaldo, the man many have come to see. Major support for both the Bianconeri and for Spurs, whose international profile would have been raised even further by reaching the 2019 Champions League final, where they were ultimately beaten by Liverpool. Everyone excited to get their look at Cristiano Ronaldo in the flesh, the Serie A player of the season, unsurprisingly. For 2018-19, there is Matthijs de Ligt amongst his new teammates. The likes of Barcelona, Manchester City, Liverpool, all reportedly wanted him. The history of Italian defending and his love of Juve dictating his final decision. Front three, that's where Sarri says he sees him playing. Have named 17-year-old Irish striker Troy Parrott up front. What an opportunity and a test for him against Leonardo Bonucci. Fellow youth player Jaffe Tanganga starts at centre-back alongside Toby Alderweireld. Star men like Dele Alli and Heung-min Son start too. Son, Spurs player of the season for 2018-19. On the bench, real quality available to Mauricio Pochettino in the likes of Harry Kane and Jan Vertonghen as well. No Kieran Trippier, of course, after he completed his move to Atletico Madrid. Spurs in their brand new change strip for this one today. And Juve in their familiar black and white. Juventus versus Tottenham Hotspur, a fixture many have been looking forward to, the International Champions Cup. These two teams met in the Champions League 2017-18. Spurs probably the better side over the two legs, but Juve with that fine smash and grab double goal at Wembley that saw them through. Lots of change for the Bianconeri since then. With me, Rob Daly, the former Ireland defender, Gary Breen. Gary, I know you've been excited for this one.
I've been really looking forward to it. I never miss an opportunity to watch Juventus play. Certainly defensively, they've been absolutely outstanding over the last few years, but a mistake already.
Well, they were nearly in there. Parrott and Son pouncing for Spurs, nearly getting in.
This is what's going to be so different. You think about Mauricio Sarri coming in as a manager, his philosophy of playing out from the back, playing through the thirds. They'll take chances that possibly Italian defenders, notably Juventus, didn't in previous seasons.
Lovely trickery to get the fans excited from Ronaldo on that touchline. Bernardeschi playing out on the right will chase this one down. It is Mario Mandzukic through the middle. Maurizio Sarri, one season at Chelsea, of course, picked up silverware winning the Europa League, but he wanted to come back to Italy and what an opportunity for him. He was working in a bank not too many. Son skips away from Bernardeschi. Son. Emre Can trying to track him down, and eventually a challenge came in. Bernardeschi will try and clear. Season with Tottenham Hotspur.
They've been brilliant at Tottenham. The very fact that they've managed to be in the top.
Who of course represented the Republic of Ireland.
You
understand the great excitement around Troy Parrott right
listen,
now.
of course we have that, and bear in mind that we're struggling for goals. This is a natural goal scorer, a footballer who's so highly thought of, not just in Ireland, by Pochettino and his staff. But you just want to be careful. You just want him to be able to develop, not put too much pressure on him early, but there's no doubt in his ability.
Yeah, Robbie Keane has echoed those sentiments, Gary. He says we don't want to put too much pressure on Troy Parrott to be the next great saviour of Irish football. But I did get a look at him at Hotspur Way, Spurs training ground, in a 4-2 Youth League win over Inter. He was fantastic, great goal. And there was staff from the Irish Football Association there watching him, very excited to see him get his goal.
I think we just saw a part there in the first minute. His hold-up play is very good at it for such a young player. And he has so many angles to his game. He really is a player who could potentially go to the very top.
And he'll be watching Harry Kane week in, week out in training, learning from one of the very best around. Here's Blaise Matuidi. He's lost it. Good pressure from Skip and Heung-min Son in his kind of area. Heung-min Son for Spurs, and can't sneak it in. And that was nearly the opener inside the 4th minute of the game.
So often you see Son in those situations, can strike right or left. Bonucci had to be careful not to give himself up too early. The ball goes to Parrott. Now you're waiting. Perhaps he could have played it a touch later to try and commit two of those defenders, but Son works the angle. But as he goes to that left-hand side, very difficult. Brilliant play by Skip in terms of hunting down Matuidi. That's a great start for that centre midfielder.
So Heung-min Son hitting the post early on. Oh, what a flick. And here come Juve with Matuidi further up the pitch now after that work by Ronaldo. Emre Can out to João Cancelo. So alongside Bonucci at centre-back is Daniele Rugani. Just drops over the head of Heung-min Son, jam back there. Here we go, you got to play out from the back.
It was no surprise that Lamela and anyone in that 10 area for Tottenham are really pressuring that number 4 position for Juve, the kind of Jorginho role as such. Pjanic playing it today. We know how much stock Sarri plays in playing through there, but the biggest thing about Juventus is getting the ball to this man as much as possible.
Ronaldo trying to drop away from Skip. Matuidi. And now Ronaldo's in the middle, one of the best headers around, and we know he can do that too. Just taken away from him. Scored one of his great goals, that overhead kick against Juventus for Real Madrid.
When you think about Ronaldo now, as he's coming to the latter part of his career, can quite comfortably become an all-action number 9 in terms of what you quite rightly said, put the ball in the box. He's an incredible header of a ball.
Dele Alli, who is good in the air, is on Mandzukic right now. Whipped in by Bernardeschi. It's a dangerous one, and behind it goes. I actually think that might be Son back there helping out.
Son's got that free roll just on the edge of that 6-yard box to go and attack any ball. I don't like the match-up in terms of Ali against Mandzukic. The very fact that Alderweireld has to go up against Ronaldo. They are short defensively, Tottenham here.
And it's flicked towards goal, but over the top by Emre Can, who has just completed his first full season after leaving Liverpool.
Another example of that philosophy Juventus have in finding free transfers around Europe. It's incredible that they do that, creating wealth within the squad, allowing them to go big on the likes of Ronaldo then and De Ligt when they come available.
Back by Gazzaniga. Georgiou. He's done well. To flick that one into the middle. The Spurs left back. Maybe an opportunity in that position depending on what happens with Danny Rose in the coming days. Spurs have said openly that he has the potential to find a new club should he manage to do so for the right fee.
It's a strange thing to say, isn't it? You've got 10 days to explore any opportunities you have elsewhere. You don't normally hear that type of rhetoric from any club, do you, as such? But he's not alone. I think they said it to Vincent Janssen as well. Nkudu also. So listen, they're trying to revamp this squad, trying to maybe create some spaces for other guys to come in.
Nicely weighted by Dele Alli, and Skip was right, I think, to get that under his spell. Walker-Peters into Lamela. Winks. Son. Now we know he can pull it onto that left and whip it into the corner, but Juve marshalling well.
Have to do it in numbers, can't engage in 1v1. He'll work and get a strike.
Georgiou flicks it in, Son is there, and it's another opportunity at the near post. This was more difficult for the South.
Compromised Son a little bit, was pushed out into those wider areas, but there's no doubt when he leads the line himself, he is an incredible player.
Back to the Tweedy. Cancelo bounces away from Dele Alli, and Tanganga was there with the challenge, but a bit too overzealous.
Got some physicality about him, and looking forward to seeing him play, how he copes against this type of quality opposition. Pre-season games and the pre-season work that they will have done will serve those guys well.
Can. Back in with the Germany international again. Cancelo. No way through for him, and Son rolls out under his feet. Lamela will snap at the ankles of Bonucci to try and win it back, but Juve come clear. Fought by De Cilio.
Games
Dele Alli saw the run. Parrott probably offside by the time that was released.
See the frustration of Sarri on the touchline, barking orders to his Juve team. On that transition, doesn't feel that they get a good enough block up quick enough. And that's what we're talking about. As dominant as they've been domestically, things will change a little bit now, because it will take time for his philosophy to be embedded into these players.
Well dealt with by Walker-Peters. And Spurs don't have the ball. This does look like a diamond midfield with Son actually up alongside Parrott. Oh, nearly lost on the edge of the area, has been lost, and a chance for Juve And Cristiano Ronaldo's denied from close range. Really good defending to recover for Spurs, because that was a chance for Juventus.
You can see him laughing off a wry smile. Very surprised he doesn't take that first time. Even more surprised that the touch wasn't of the highest quality. Just allows Tottenham to come back and smother it.
Great block from Alderweireld. And easy for Walker-Peters to shield that one out.
And look at that Tottenham team. We've seen so much of them last season. And they are considerably a better team when Alderweireld is playing. This is why it's hard to understand the very fact that he has that release clause, that no one's activated it yet, that he hasn't signed a new contract. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that scenario, but you don't want to see players of his quality leaving the club.
Well, for me, he was one of the three best centre-backs in the Premier League last season.
I agree.
And brilliant work again by Walker-Peters. And he's won a free kick up the pitch. That was fine play from the right-back. And De Cilio has chopped him down.
He's been caught out by the pace. The timing quite well there. Walker-Peters gets that touch and he's away. You play defence for Juventus. Either you get the ball or you get the man. Both don't go past you.
De Cilio made his choice, and Spurs have a free kick in a decent situation here. Chance for Walker-Peters out on that right-hand side as well, with Kieran Trippier making that move to Atletico.
Yeah. As a young player, you must see that as a real sign of faith that they have in you, that they've allowed him to go out, maybe to create a pathway for you into that first team. So that has to be the mindset of all these young players. Lamela now, great left foot, and him looking to whip this in.
Lamela, a player with Serie A experience from his time with Roma, does get it into the middle towards Dele Alli, who loves that near post run. Georgiou thumps it back towards goal, but can't concern Buffon.
His eyes lit up there as it bounced on the edge of the box. Why not pre-season? Have a go. Not surprised Tottenham are pressing high. Look, whoever's at the base of that midfield, it's Chan there. They make sure Tottenham are in and around them. Sarri started off brilliantly at Chelsea with his Sarri ball philosophy, but it was Pochettino who dismantled everything when Tottenham beat Chelsea so comfortably 3-1, and from that moment on things changed for him at Chelsea.
Good pressure from Spurs again. Dele Alli, can he work it out with his feet? Not quite.
Снова прессинг Тоттенхэма работает. Уинкс отбирает мяч. Дели Алли в штрафной. А подбор за Ювентуса.
Ну и тут же втроем прессингуют одного футболиста англичане и отбирают в итоге мяч. Дели Алли оставил партнера. Снова Георгию, кстати, через него. Ну не то чтобы игра идет, но он активно вперед ходит. Ну, довольно смело.
Да, тут еще и его стандартная амплуа левого вингера говорит о многом. Ну и Перрет сейчас здорово в прессинге помог своему клубу. Перрет молодой совсем ирландский мальчишка, 17 лет ему. Сегодня он в центре атаки Тоттенхэма. Харри Кейн в запасе, с ним все в порядке. Просто вот такой выбор у Маурисио Почеттино. Трой Перрет выступал совсем недавно на молодежном, на юниорском чемпионате Европы до 17 лет в прошлом году. И там в 4 матчах 3 мяча забил. Ну, не так давно он в академии Тоттенхэма оказался.
И опять, как здорово, в 3 передачи доставлен мяч до чужой штрафной. Георгио. Забегает партнер по флангу. Это был Хён Мин Сон. Пошел пас в центр штрафной площади. Там справился Ругани.
Оливер Скип здорово в подборе сыграл. Танганга. Дели Алли, Георгио. И пас в положении вне игры на Сона. Ну, в Азии Сона обожают. Его нельзя было не выставлять в стартовом составе. вне зависимости от стран. Сон — это лицо всего азиатского футбола сегодня.
Пожалуй, на
может быть, и спорта даже.
На сегодняшний день главная звезда, ну, футбольная, это точно. Может быть, зимой как-то с ним Виктор Ан мог бы поспорить, но сейчас уже, пожалуй, нет.
Танганга.
Не настаивает совсем Ювентус на контроле над мячом. Сари выходит, разводит руки в стороны. Так, всплесками Ювентус где-то за счет собственных стараний, где-то подкараулив ошибку Тоттенхэма, создал пару моментов. Ну и у Сона два хороших шанса, а это Криштиану. И вот он, смещаясь, ну, не стал смещаться в центр.
Перед. Много пространства перед ним. Ламела его использует. Ламела пас через центр очень тонкий и настолько, что порвалось все в атаке у Тоттенхэма. Уинкс. Уолкер Питерс. Главная потеря Тоттенхэма этим летом пока это, конечно же, правый защитник Киран Трипьер. Он ушел в Атлетико Мадрид. И есть, в принципе, и уже в составе Тоттенхэма и Серж Орье, и Уолкер Питерс, которые могут его по позиции заменить. Насколько могут по функционалу, это станет понятно по ходу сезона, если никто новый не придет. Сейчас финт от Криштиану Роналду.
Но чем был хорош Тоттенхэм и сначала в премьер-лиге, потом по нарастающей в Лиге чемпионов, и вот дошел до финала, пока это апогей европейских выступлений Тоттенхэма. Это умение обходиться относительно небольшой обоймой и выжимать максимум из того, что есть. Совершенно не случайно Маурисио Почеттино был в числе кандидатов на пост главного тренера во многих командах.
Где нет больших
только
ресурсов.
Ну почему же? Например, в Манчестер Юнайтед его сватали, в Мадридский Реал, да. То есть это как раз тренер, который умеет давать результат, несмотря ни на что. И понятно, что у Манчестера и у Реала там немножко другие проблемы, но тем не менее это тренер, который в экстремальных условиях, в тяжелейшей, супернапряженной английской лиге. Да, конечно, можно говорить о том, что Тоттенхэм, наверное, в 2016 году упустил исторический шанс стать чемпионом, когда все были на перестройке, и чемпионом стал Лестер. Но, тем не менее, находиться вот так высоко, стабильно и продолжать выращивать игроков, находить их где-то там в молодежных командах.
Например, да, как Дели Алли.
Да, и доводить до статуса суперзвезд, это, конечно, работа Почеттино очевидная.
Ну да, он говорил этим летом уже перед, собственно, стартом этого турнира Международного Кубка Чемпионов о том, что 5 лет назад мы могли только мечтать о том, чтобы попасть в Лигу Чемпионов и бороться за четверку в Англии. Сейчас мы уже хотим больше, но для этого, опять же, нужны ресурсы.
Подача в штрафную. Кажется, что там угловой будет назначен. Нет, удар от ворот. ВАР здесь нет. Бесконтактную кредитную карту там подбросить, пожалуйста, проблем нет. А вот ВАР провести не только у нас сложности с этим.
Пауло Гасанига. Он сегодня в основе. Уголь Юрис поехал в это азиатское турне, но подхватил ангину, поэтому вне заявки на сегодняшний матч.
Гасанига вратарь довольно опытный, 27 лет ему, но такой вечный дублер Льориса Микаэль Ворм команду покинул. Наверное, по ходу нынешнего сезона Гасанига должен играть такую роль второго вратаря.
Ну, он уже и в прошлом сезоне выходил, когда Льорис не мог. И ранее, когда у Льориса были проблемы, в том числе и с законом, его клуб отстранял от игр и тренировок.
Пьяное вождение?
Да, пьяное вождение, то самое. Ну и когда травмы были у Льориса. Но затем все нормально с капитаном Тоттенхэма. И он, безусловно, важнейший игрок для этого лондонского клуба.
Дели Алли отыгрывает назад. Продолжает Тоттенхэм больше владеть мячом. Винкс играет на Альдервейрель, да, и отсюда уже пошла длинная передача на рывок Хён-Мин Сона. Не был ли он в положении вне игры? Судя по всему, нет. Рядом с Соном, как всегда, Георгио. Получает румын передачу. Киприот, прошу прощения, да. Да.
Георгио.
Ура Киприоту, как говорится. Винкс.
Альдервейрельд. И не прессингует Ювентус. Да, интересно там за Сарри посмотреть в эти минуты, когда Ювентус на своей половине поля встречает соперника.
Мяч под левой. Бануччи заблокировал удар на подборе Дели Алли. Винкс. Еще одна передача низом, но здесь Эмре Can все контролировал. И контратака Ювентуса заканчивается не начавшись.
Уолкер Питерс. На левой бровке располагается Криштиану Роналду. Об этом объявил еще до игры Маурицио Сарри, что сначала он попробует Роналду именно на левой бровке. Ну, естественно, с опцией смещения в центр. В центре атаки в последние годы мы привыкли видеть португальца. И об этом итальянские СМИ сообщали, что именно в центре атаки он будет у Сарри. Ну, как сообщали, предполагали. А нет, сегодня он начинает на левой бровке. Как в свои первые золотые годы, назовем их так, потому что они, по сути, еще и продолжаются у Роналду.
Опять пас назад на Буффона. Кстати, интересная еще история с Полем Погба и его возможным возвращением в Ювентус. Юве, я так понимаю, эту опцию еще не... Этот возможный трансфер еще не похоронил. И есть разговоры даже об обмене на Паулу Дибалу и, возможно, с доплатой. Но Поль Погба вчера, кстати, местами очень неплохо себя показал в игре против Интера.
И Сарри говорил, что ему интересен, ему очень нравится игрок Поль Погба, но он принадлежит Манчестер Юнайтед. На этом его комментарий по поводу этого потенциального трансфера исчерпан.
Ну, редко главные тренеры команд проясняют какие-то вещи с трансферами, тем более, когда они, что называется, как говорят англичане, pending, то есть вот сейчас
в процессе,
еще развиваются.
Да. Ну, Конте позволил себе, да, про Лукаку сказать, что мы ведем переговоры, и какие-то детали даже приоткрыл. Гасанига.
Это призыв такой. Ну-ка, Гасаника.
И вот прислушивается Уолкер Питерс к этому.
Да, газанул на фланге. Здесь Хён Мин Сон. Скип, передача по диагонали.
Не прошел Георгио. Бернардески около своей штрафной рискованно.
Вообще интересно, что пока на этом турнире только один матч, в котором было забито меньше 3 голов. Это как раз игра Манчестер-Интер. Все остальные 3 и больше.
Ну и матчи без ничейных результатов пока.
Да, да. А здесь в случае ничейного результата сразу же серия пенальти.
Да, пенальти здесь не бывает. Либо поражение по пенальти, либо поражение в основное время. И все это победа, разное количество либо победа баллов, которые идут в общий зачет.
Либо поражение.
Ну, давай уж на 24-й минуте можно сказать о регламенте турнира. Разное количество баллов, которые идут в общий зачет. В 3 разных частях света они играют. В Америке, в США, в Европе и в Азии. И каждая из этих 12 команд играет в Америке 3 матча, в Европе и затем Азии. Тот, кто набрал наибольшее количество очков из этих 12 команд, играет победителем 3 матча Международного Кубка Чемпионов. И 3 очка за победу в основное время, 0 очков за поражение в основное время, 2 очка за победу по пенальти и 1 очко за поражение в серии пенальти. Время 0 очков за поражение в основное время, 2 очка за победу по пенальти и 1 очко за поражение. Ну и из других игр Тоттенхэма это Манчестер Юнайтед. Да. Ну и здесь же из других игр Тоттенхэма это
Does he get any older, Ronaldo? It just doesn't seem so, does he?
And part of the phenomenon is that he's barely ever injured. Barely ever injured in his career.
Listen, you need to be fortunate in terms of contact injuries. Let's have a look at him again here.
But he got through there, Ronaldo.
But the reason why he's able to play so many games is because of the incredible physical shape that he is in, the hard work that he does away from match situations.
João Cancelo. Oh, great vision from him. Juventus might be in here, and Ronaldo with his first real sight of the game, and it was some way off target.
Marcus Peters narrowed up on his centre half, but I'm not sure you can give Ronaldo that amount of space. More often than not, he's hitting the target from there. I think the very fact that he didn't, maybe because of the fact that his knee is not great after that contact, but that little bit of skill just then suggests it's okay.
Tanganga pinged out to Dele Alli. What's interesting at this tournament, Gary, overall, is that we are seeing young players taking their opportunity. We've seen it for both Arsenal and Manchester United.
It's a great chance to give those players the opportunity on this type of stage against this type of opposition and just see, listen, we know you've got the ability, but can you cope with the pressure? Can you cope with the expectation? And as you quite rightly said, we've seen so many of those young guys who have.
Georgiou, now Son. Dele Alli wants it on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, and he tried to work that into Son. That was clever. And two very good friends nearly had a very good connection.
I think Son just checked his run. I don't think he believes the pass is coming. If he'd kept that momentum, he would have collected it.
Beautifully read by Tanganga, stepping out there before it got to Mandzukic. Back by Georgiou. Lamela. Lamela again. It's off to Dele Alli. And Spurs find a gap. Son will go for it. Juve look very settled there, just couldn't see a way through Spurs.
They're struggling to get any foothold in that central midfield area, but they're not giving up their position. Back four sitting on the 18-yard box, midfield unit, only about 7 or 8 yards in front, so it is difficult to find space. No surprise that Son is trying his luck from distance.
Half an hour played. Heung-min Son has come closer than anyone to scoring after hitting the post after a layoff from that man Parrott. And those two work it again. 4 on 3 here for Spurs. Son, well laid off, and Buffon makes a fine save, and it's guided in by Eric Lamela. Troy Parrott denied on the first attempt, but Lamela was there to beat Buffon. Spurs have been the better team, and on the half hour, they lead Juventus by 1-0.
So often you work on the training ground in those scenarios, your forward guys, 4v3, brilliant play by Parrott to release, doesn't admire the pass, it gets in support. Suddenly they are 4v3, it's about timing, it's about the running. Parrott's give the information, hold it, release it now. The strike's there, it's a brilliant save by Buffon. He's hoping the defender's there, but he's not. To his dismay, it's Lamela to pass it into an empty net. Brilliant goal by Tottenham.
When they pinch the ball off Juve in dangerous areas, that's when Spurs have looked most threatening. Great work by Son. Great to see Parrott try his luck. He's really unlucky not to score there. It's a wonderful save from Buffon. And it's in by Lamela. He scored 6 goals in his opening 11 appearances last season, but then didn't get another for the remainder of the campaign after some injury problems.
What a terrible injury. I think it was a hip one, which is One of the worst ones you can get as a footballer. It takes so long to recover from. He's obviously in good hands at Tottenham. It's great to see him back, and an early goal now will boost his confidence. But what was so impressive about that is Son's driving on, and so many times in that scenario you expect him to drop a shoulder, gets his strike on. But Troy Parrott has dominated the situation from deep. The information to him would have been, hold it, I'm coming, wait. Yes! Timing of the pass is perfect, the run was perfect, the strike was perfect, and it was a brilliant save by Buffon, but Spurs weren't to be denied.
And the water break has given Mauricio Pochettino time for a quick team talk here. Let's not forget Spurs made no signings last season. The double signing of Jack Clark, who's been loaned back to Leeds, and Tonke and Ndombele have been their first bits of business since January 2018.
Not fortunate, but they were lucky to see the resurgence of Sissoko. Suddenly last year he became the player that we saw in Euro 16 with France, as opposed to the one we saw with Newcastle getting relegated. Ended up being Spurs' player of the season, so it'd be interesting to see the dynamic now with him there, Winks there, the new signings. Who gets that nod in central midfield? Let's not forget about Wanyama, Eric Dyer. They have options now that possibly their first 11, they didn't have depth before. They've now got that. Juventus held that line, put the pressure on the linesman. It'll be fascinating, interesting now to see whether or not it was the timing. Just watch it now. Ali's looked over his shoulder. There's the play. Oof. You're probably right.
That's close. I'm not sure. Parrott was there to tuck it away anyway. But Spurs exploded into life there.
That's what we remember Dele Alli. He's been so impressive in those areas, that second striker role. We know he gets his goals, but it's that creativity that he gives this team as well.
Front foot by Georgian.
With those signings, what they've achieved last season, can they bridge that gap? Listen, let's not forget, around March time, Tottenham were in the title race. They went to Burnley. If they won that game, they were within 2 points of the top. They lost it. There was a massive fall in terms of form from that moment on.
Into Mandzukic, great ball, and he directed it to the correct corner. Couldn't generate the power of the Croatian.
We've seen him over the years though. In league football, international football, he's dangerous in those situations.
Tanganga did enough to put him off. Novella, Dele Alli. Dele Alli again. Stuck under his boot there. Can get it out. Tries to keep it away from Pjanic. Walker-Peters. And foul by Walker-Peters as he tries to recover. So less than 10 minutes to half-time.
Dele Alli in that 10 area again. Just hasn't quite got a feel yet as such, but what is impressive there, and forgive me for highlighting Troy Parrott all the time, but even as a 17-year-old, he's got that physical ability to hold that ball up against robust Italian defenders.
They've won it again in a deep area. Lamela was lining up the shot. It's a good recovery from Emre Can, having lost it initially. But these are the kind of kinks we're going to see with the Sarri system, isn't it? Skip tries to move that on to Parrott, who's done well to turn it over again, because that pass is a little bit loose. And now Winks. Parrott into Heung-min Son. Pings it against Rugani.
Those Juve centre-half, so good at blocking shots. You work the angle, they work their feet so quickly.
Beautifully weighted by Winks. Georgiou's there. Parrott comes short. Just challenged in the nick of time by João Cancelo. Skip turns it over. And Spurs will keep going. Bernardeschi's down. Well, I think if they were in a Champions League game, that ball's not going out of play, but Spurs have stopped things here with Bernardeschi looking a bit in trouble.
He got hit on his shin pad.
Thanks to Skip as well. That was a great turnover of possession.
He gives you that. Listen, I mentioned no central midfielders, but you have to put him into the equation as well.
Juve pressure now. Peter's trying to work out what to do. Pjanic. Ronaldo. Ronaldo, nice interchanges between him and Matuidi. And it goes now for Ronaldo, and he just ghosts into the penalty area. You don't even notice it.
It's a chance, it's a great ball. Just as he gets up, though, I don't think he's particularly well set to go and attack the flight of it. You see him now. He's normally so good in those situations. More often than not, heads the ball like a number 9, heads the ball like a number 5. He's that good in the air.
Chan, shut down by Dele Alli. Spurs ball. Lucas Moura, one of those warming up on the touchline right now for Spurs. Parrott wins the free kick.
I hope now that Parrott, who's on this pre-season tour, becomes part of the first team squad, training every day with these players now. The improvement then will really be seen, working day in, day out with these quality players.
It's been a good option for Spurs so far. That ping ball out from Winks to Georgiou, getting full from left back.
You can see how narrow that Juventus back four are. Them balls are on all the time.
Georgiou.
The Juventus mindset is, okay, you can have the ball out wide, and if you want to cross it, we've got defenders who can deal with that all day.
It's even without Chiellini and De Ligt on the pitch, who may well be Juve's first-choice defensive pairings. Chiellini not available due to injury today.
I don't know what they're going to do, really, because it's not as if Sarri will go to a back three. You said about them guys, they signed Demiral as well, who was so impressive for Turkey against world champions France. He dominated them. The physicality of Giroud, then dealt with the pace of Mbappe. Looks a real out-and-out defender, in a mould of Chiellini, to be perfectly honest. De Ligt as well then. And as you quite rightly said, you've got Chiellini, Bonucci, Rugani. Wow.
Skip works it on to Winks. Slightly loose that one, but Dele Alli is there to help out. Griggs wanted that down the line from Georgia, who does get it now. Tweedy breathing down the neck of Heung-min Son.
Touch is not quite there for a host of players, to be perfectly honest, and this is what happens your first game. Talked about this before, it's not about fitness levels anymore. These professional athletes now are fit the whole year. It's just about getting your time in, your feel of the ball back again, just getting that rhythm.
Skip, Son, Lamela already on a goal, Walker-Peters, Parrott, a sense there might be an opportunity there. Juve just about get it away from their penalty area.
Spurs, two players in the box were both on the same line for that cross, need to stagger that run a bit better for that cut back from Walker-Peters, but again he's getting in those advanced areas.
Some of his coaching staff from Chelsea to Turin, Maurizio Sarri, after replacing Max Allegri, who had that fine 5 years in charge, a couple of Champions League finals, all league titles. That was high from Parrott, and he catches João Cancelo.
Just trying to flip the ball. Cancelo has ducked down. No malice intended. There's no doubt you can see a couple of stud marks down the side of the face.
Yeah. This will be a sore one, a yellow card for Troy Parrott. And the referees don't take intent into account in those kind of challenges sometimes. Can end up being a straight red for a high boot to the head, as we have seen in the Premier League previously. Bonucci.
Really creating an atmosphere now, the Mexican way.
Cancelo good running. Ronaldo points to where they need to run, but there was a deflection on the cross, which takes it through to Gazzaniga.
He's done brilliantly there, young centre-half, to take the sting out of that cross. Ronaldo to pull to that back post menacingly. If he's jumping against Walker-Peters, he could be in a bit of trouble, the young fullback. As good as Spurs' season was last year, there are improvements being made.
It was a close one again. Parrott's offside this time. I think if that had gone just a fraction earlier from Dele Alli, maybe there was an unnecessary touch there before working that through. Three additional minutes. Clip forward by Pjanic. João Cancelo. And of course in Manchester City in this transfer window, as they try and bolster in the full-back positions.
It's an interesting one. Really impressive as a right back. As high as Juve are willing to let him go, I can understand why City want him. Talk about Danilo being moved on to create space for it, but it's amazing how these big clubs of Europe are reacting now to what happened with Spurs, Liverpool, Ajax even being so impressive Champions League. There's a big rebuilding job throughout Europe, not just Juventus. Seen it Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Bayern are having to replace some iconic players. That's going to be a brilliant season, and this is a great start to watch these teams going up against each other in this competition at this early part of the season.
Out by João Cancelo. Paulo Dybala with Juve at the moment after his Copa America duties. It's swapped in by Cristiano Ronaldo, but he can't find Mandzukic in the middle. And some sorting out to do at the break from Maurizio Sarri and Juventus. Spurs will be happy with this 45, Gary.
I think you'll be delighted. I think it's a fitness issue. Of course it is a priority. That is exactly what Pochettino had said prior to the game. But there's been great moments. They've dominated the game, they really have, in terms of possession. They've looked comfortable. Juve have been limited to opportunities, bearing in mind they've got players like Ronaldo. So good first half by Tottenham.
It's went forward by Gazzaniga. He did very well actually in his appearances last season, moving up from third choice to second choice ahead of Vorm. At times was even pushing Hugo Lloris.
As good as Lloris has been captain, he did have some shaky moments that you don't expect from a goalkeeper of his quality.
Ronaldo gets it from Desilio and moves it on to Chan. Pjanic. Matuidi, and it's away by Toby Alderweireld.
Covers a lot of ground, Skip. Central midfield, goes out and helps fullbacks even though isolated. Good performance by that young central midfielder and all of this Tottenham team.
Yeah, it's been a half the Tottenham Hotspur have enjoyed greatly. High pressing of Juve has led to chances and it led to a goal scored by Eric Lamela after a fine save from Gigi Buffon to deny Troy Parrott, who leads the line for Spurs today. But they have been the better team so far. You can see the Juve are trying to work out exactly what Maurizio Sarri wants from him, and there may be a change of goalkeeper at half-time as well, as Wojciech Szczesny is one of those to come out. So half-time at the National Stadium in Singapore. It is Juventus 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
levels of fitness yet, but you still have to be on the top of your game. And there's an opportunity. Ronaldo's middle of the 6-yard box, a cross right on his head, and a massive surprise that he doesn't get the connection to see it go in the back of the net.
Second half on the way. Really good entertainment tonight. It is Juventus 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1 at the break.
Premier Sports.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 2019 International Champions Cup. What has been a very entertaining game between Juve and Spurs so far. Spurs leading by a goal to nil, scored by Eric Lamela, if you are just joining us. Alongside me, Rodelli, the former Ireland defender, Gary Breen. Gary, lots of changes on the way. Harry Kane is coming off for Spurs. He's wearing the armband too.
I'll be delighted to see him come back. You're hoping now that the rest that he's had has enabled that ankle injury that caused so many problems to the back end of last season, fully healed. We've seen the likes of Lamela really impacting in this game after a dreadful season with injury. To have him back and healthy is a massive boost to this Tottenham side.
Yeah, Vertonghen is also entering the action, so we'll see exactly how many changes are coming, but the fitness work being done by the substitutes. Adrian Rabiot coming on for his first appearance in a Juve shirt, by the way. The guys who just played are now doing sprints on the side of the pitch for Spurs. Yeah. It's demanding, isn't it?
Well, listen, that's what you have to do. You know, professional footballers, be at the peak of your condition. You have to have a type of physicality to play the way that Pochettino wants, in terms of out of possession, how expansive you are, but notably when the transition happens, a turnover, you can win that ball back. They will be very fit, there's no doubt about it.
Gonzalo Higuain is coming on along with Adrian Rabiot as well. It'll be interesting to see if he stays at Juventus in this transfer window. It's a difficult one to call whether Sarri will look to use him. Lucas Moura, well, no doubt about his worth to Spurs after that remarkable hat-trick in the Champions League semi-final against Ajax.
We talked about players who the season before hadn't really impacted. Moura was one of them, Sissoko, both on massive parts last year for Tottenham. We're just seeing that strength in depth now really improving at Tottenham. And you hope now that that enables them. Listen, these are the guys who have just played 45 minutes in a searing heat doing proper sprints.
You love it, Gary.
Love it. Absolutely love to see it.
Usa Sissoko, who was unbelievable last season. Final pep talk there from Tony Jimenez, who's the goalkeeping coach at Spurs. And there was Wojciech Szczesny as well. Confirmation of a lot of changes for Juve as Mandzukic come off, Higuain to Szczesny, Demiral and Rabiot coming on. So Rabiot's an interesting case, of course. He picked Juve linked for a long time with Spurs as well on a potential free transfer. Can you tell me a little bit about Demiral actually, Gary? Because I know you're really excited by that centre-back who's coming on here.
It just seems the perfect one for a Juventus team. Loves defending, but at the same time he's comfortable on the ball. He's not one of those centre-halves who wants to step into midfield, make passes. He just wants to defend, head it, clear it, but can look after the football in a very similar way to Chiellini, and that's a massive compliment. The big money obviously has gone on De Ligt, but Demiral has come under the radar. I think you'll be impressed with him. Had a good season in Serie A last season with Sassuolo, so he knows how to cope with the league. But once again, we're talking about 5 or 6 centre-halves for 2 positions.
Juve's squad depth this season is quite frankly ridiculous, and you never know, they might have more on the way in. There's Rabiot getting his instructions. What do you make to that move? He's obviously had some off-the-field issues with Paris Saint-Germain last season.
Well, of course he is, because the refusal to sign a contract, they want to make it hard for you. But he was strong. He was determined to make a decision which suited him. And he's a guy now that's so in keeping with what Juventus do. 24 years of age, so should be going into his prime on a free transfer. Is Poch having a word with Higuain and maybe coming to Tottenham to play? Not sure the Chelsea fans.
I've got Troy Parrott, I'm all right.
You're right, he is all right. Troy Parrott was impressive. Not in the showy way in terms of getting goals and strikes on target, but in terms of the shift he put in, there's a player there, no doubt.
Foyth, Vertonghen, Sissoko, Lucas Moura and Kane coming on now. Van Foyth, who came back early really. I mean, he was playing in the Copa America at right back for Argentina. He was their first choice right back, and he's into the action now, and he may well have to deal with that man who's been out on the left. So we'll see exactly how Spurs are playing this one. It looks like Foyth is at centre back with Vertonghen. Sissoko comes into the central midfield, really in essence to replace Dele Alli, who's come off here. And then Kane and Lucas Moura into the attack with Son off. So Juve 0, Spurs 1, 45 more minutes in Singapore. And some pre-season action, you can see lots of changes, and the teams actually get weaker. I think they're only going to get stronger from here on in. Spurs versus Juve, Gary Breen alongside me. For Harry Kane, of course, injured at the back end of last season, Gary. He was thrown into the Champions League final.
Yeah, so there's much debate, and it's a difficult one. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But ultimately, For Tottenham in that Champions League final, I think more than anything, it's a feeling of regret. Liverpool didn't play at their best. I think them Tottenham players believed that the opportunity was there for them. They didn't take it. But of course, conceding a goal so early on changed the whole dynamic in favour to Liverpool in terms of being able to play on the counter-attack. Tottenham dominated possession. Liverpool were the champions, though.
Ronaldo. First second half touches for him. He's up against the powerhouse Moussa Sissoko, and he wins a free kick off him. Sissoko second in the Player of the Year standings for Spurs after his remarkable performance in central midfield.
Second to who?
Heung-min Son.
Oh, of course.
It was very close apparently, and even the club legends at Spurs gave him the Legends Player of the Year award. But it really was between those two.
Right.
Who both came to life in the Chelsea game that you were right to mention earlier on.
He was impressive, Sissoko. Powerhouse in that midfield. And it was a difficult time really in terms of losing Dembele, who's a fantastic player for Tottenham, he really was. And I think they missed that type of physicality in central midfield. Sissoko gave him a little bit of that, more athleticism in terms of running forward, but nevertheless, a real impact.
Pjanic, Bernardeschi over it. It will be Bernardeschi. And well knocked away by Walker-Peters. Here is Gonzalo Higuain. Pinged out towards Bernardeschi again. Looks like the diamond midfield again from Spurs with Kane and Lucas Moura in attack. Lamela just off them. Playing in that sort of central role that was working for him really in the first half, pinching possession on occasion.
Cancelo's gone to left back for Juve, it seems here.
Matuidi.
To see the stats on Skip in that midfield area in terms of how often he closes down in the wings for a central midfield player, really covers the width of that pitch.
Walker-Peters dispossessed, Bernardeschi trying to work it, and they have. Ronaldo takes on Foyth. He's done really well there, Juan Foyth, and nodded on by Winks, so Spurs can break now. Ball by Sissoko. Just clipped away from Kane by the recovering Bonucci.
Good defending by Foyth there. Being squared up by Ronaldo in the penalty area is not something you want to be seen as a centre-half. Have to be spot on in terms, and he was. So surprised, like you said, Foyth wanted to come back early. I think there's an opportunity for Higuain.
Oh, great ball into the middle by Ronaldo, and Higuain gives him the thumbs up. Gazzaniga gathers in front of him.
The ball was that good to Higuain. You just thought he could have hit that left foot first time.
I think Ronaldo was the only person in the entire stadium that saw that was on. Clipped by Gazzaniga.
for home and auto insurance. We've also won 5 JD Power Awards.
But ever since Juventus let him go, whether it's been at Milan or Chelsea last season, there were reports as well.
Being the heir apparent to potentially threaten Robbie's goal record. It'd be some ask, but no doubt.
It's on before. That was a really dangerous situation from a Spurs point of view. And Lamela got the final ball right.
That's happened too often now against this Juve team. It's not something you do expect. And you talked about ironing out the problems that they're going to face under Sarri in this new philosophy.
Bonucci over the top for Ronaldo. Cool as you like from Gazzaniga to elbow that one away. I suppose from Juve's point of view, even while they work out the system, in the opening weeks of the Serie A season, they'll have the individual quality to get wins over the line, won't they? Even if this isn't quite as free-flowing as they're planning.
Well, listen, in terms of Ronaldo and the strength and depth that they have, yes, you would expect that. Of course you would, but if that tactics are not quite spot on, there are players in Serie A who will punish them.
Moved on by Rabiot. Cilio. That's a brilliant ball. I initially thought that Bernardeschi was onside as that was clipped into him. Very close call once again, it looked like on first viewing.
Tottenham's defence under Pochettino have been brilliant at holding the line. Real belief to let the man run offside, and you can see it there. All on the touch of the man on the ball. As soon as he touches it out of his feet and he's got his head down, that's when you hold the line. You encourage the run to go early. If he does, let him go and play the offside.
Spurs pressed on the edge of their own box. Bernardeschi fires it at goal, and really well held by Gazzaniga because that had fizz on it. Skip, little no-look pass into Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura hits it! Not a million miles away from the Brazilian. Wonderful work from Lucas Moura, and it's just wide of that post. Szczesny looked in trouble.
We know he's got that quality. Gets that ball in that 10 area on the half-turn, drives, shows his pace. But as soon as Juve back off, pulls the trigger. Szczesny at full stretch. You know him as an ex-Arsenal goalkeeper will be determined to keep this Tottenham team out.
Bernardeschi was offside that time. Georgiou, solid left back. Here is Vertonghen. Foyth. Big gaps in front of that back four for Juve. Here's Sissoko, and now Lucas Moura. Kane's pointing. Winks linking it to Lucas Moura. Lamela driving for the penalty area. Only caught a couple of times there by Juve players. Here's Walker-Peters. This is great play from Spurs. It's gathered by Szczesny in the end.
There's Demiral hunting him down. Followed the initial run of Lamela across the back line. Like a rash he is, to be fair.
Here's Rabiot. Higuain nearly connected. Nearly.
Ronaldo saving. He should feel that his teammate should be able to get that pass off.
Lucas Moura, what a ping that is. And Kane, first time, couldn't help himself, off target. First sight of goal for the man wearing the armband for Tottenham Hotspur tonight.
Someone went down back against him in scenarios like that, but it looked like he had enough space to bring that down and get the strike off. That's the confidence that Kane has, that in his so-called weaker side, he's able to take on a volley like that.
What a ball from Lucas Moura, by the way, who started his second half superbly. Cecilio. Ronaldo. Pjanic. Higuain. Oh, well worked. Gonzalo Higuain buries it. Well, he is a true finisher, and he's done it against Tottenham Hotspur before in a Juventus shirt. The man back from Chelsea has made it Juventus 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
A brilliant goal, no surprise Higuain gets sight of it. Talked about his struggles in the Premier League. I think that's more to do with his lack of athleticism. But there's no doubt in Serie A, in a slower paced game, you get the ball into him in dangerous areas, he can finish. Look at him initially showing up as centre forward, gives the option on the 1-2, places pass around the corner, follows it. It's a brilliant finish.
Low into the corner from Gonzalo Higuain, playing for his future perhaps at Juventus. He scored 3 goals against Spurs in the Champions League a couple of seasons ago, and he's found the corner here. A reminder at this point, as Higuain levels the contest, that if it's all square after 90 minutes, penalties of the International Champions Cup. Spurs were involved in a few shootouts last season. Here's Walker-Peters. Lucas Moura. Skip. Quickly worked. Lamela. Now he has the angle to shoot. Bonucci does enough for the corner kick.
Talk about the blocking again, though, centre-half Bonucci. Also remember a brilliant quote from Jose Mourinho saying Bonucci should go to Harvard University and give a master's degree on how to defend. Some statement.
Back to Juve after a year away at AC Milan.
Didn't sit right, didn't look right in an AC Milan shirt. I didn't understand what the fallout was that he would leave Juve, but it's good to see him back.
Lamela deep, Kane jumps, and just wide from Kane. His second opportunity, and he got up really well for that one.
He has, he's got up early, and Bonucci's done great in that scenario. See Kane, when you got up early as a centre forward, as a centre half, it's very difficult. All you can do is bump into him, try and disturb him. Bonucci doesn't do that enough, and Kane should be hitting the target.
Maybe it will be third time lucky for Kane, who had his ankle injuries last season. Still finished the campaign with 24 goals in all competitions, despite having 2 lengthy spells out.
Staggering his stats now for a 25-year-old internationally, the amount of games he's playing. But that is a reoccurring injury, and that's a concern, there's no doubt. So I'm sure a lot of strength work will be doing it. And listen, this is a guy who's a consummate professional, will be doing everything to make sure that that happens. So we want to see him as healthy as possible.
Pjanic around the corner, on by Rabiot.
You feel that Tottenham in their new stadium is going to help. Wembley was a great place to play your football, of course it was, but it wasn't home. It certainly wasn't White Hart Lane that final season where they were so dominant, Tottenham. And you'd think there'd be improvements there, coupled with the fact that they strengthened the squad. Let's not forget, they lost 13 games last year. That's an incredible amount.
Cecilio up against Walker-Peters. Oh, good cutback, and it's deflected into the net. And Ronaldo has his goal, and Juventus have turned this around. They now lead by 2 goals to 1. And there is the iconic celebration of Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's a period just before these 2 goals where the Juve team looked like they were fatiguing in this heat. But we talked about getting certain positions, players in those areas, and the devastating effect that they will have. Ronaldo built now as a centre forward, and that is a brilliant centre forward's goal. Attacks that area, and now you're looking for the finish. Goalkeeper, no chance.
Jan Vertonghen could do nothing as it flew in the other direction beyond Gazzaniga. Now Spurs with some work to do. Remember in the Champions League when they were 1-0 up at Wembley and conceded 2 goals in something like 3 minutes against before eventual elimination.
an incredible turnaround in that, just over a year ago, that game won. We talked about Juventus, they're serial winners for a reason, because they are able to do something like that. And if you think about, when you watch Ronaldo be at United, and you're watching United scoreline, you're watching Real Madrid scoreline come in, you watch Juventus scoreline, your first question is, how many did Ronaldo get?
Here come changes now for Juventus. And it looks like we're going to get a look at Matheus Pereira, who did get some game time at the back end of last season, the Brazilian attacking midfield player. Out by Szczesny. Tonight in particular, well read by Walker Peters, and he waits the pass nicely to Lucas Moura. On the overlap. Matthias de Ligt, who faced Spurs with Ajax in the Champions League last season.
He's a centre-half who knocked Juventus out as well. In terms of the curve that his career's been on at such a young age, staggering really. Makes his debut for Ajax at 17, plays 2 Eredivisie games and gets called up to the national team.
Flipped out towards Pereira. I don't think he's going to keep this in. For Spurs, meanwhile, a couple of changes there as well. And most notably, that Tanguy Ndombele, the French international club record signing, is on to replace Harry Winks in the middle of midfield. Jack Rolls from the academy is on too now. And this is when fans start to get really excited, Gary, when they see those new players coming on.
Especially for Tottenham, it's been so long since any new players come through the building. But yes, de Ligt, it's a massive signing for Juve, as you quite rightly said, courted by all the big clubs in Europe.
Ndombele's first touches are to win the ball in the Juve half, and what a pass for Lucas Moura. He's assisted the equaliser. Spurs are back level against Juventus. Great work by Ndombele, and Lucas Moura has stabbed it into the net. What an immediate impact from Spurs' record signing.
Tottenham fans are reacting, I'm sure Pochettino is as well. Makes that substitution immediate impact. And we're talking about Moura. More often than not, it's discarding how much pace he's got. Initially, Cancelo's not narrowed up, he's on the wrong goal side. Moura recognises that, the pace is on the pass, he just has to steer it, and he does it brilliantly into the top corner. Great spot by the new signing and weight of pass.
I think they were his first touches of the ball. 2-2, arguably the most entertaining game of the International Champions Cup so far, and we still have 25-30 minutes to go with added time. It's up towards Gonzalo Higuain and Walker Peters.
As players are getting tired, game's getting more stretched, isn't it? There's opportunities now for especially those guys who have come on fresh.
Bernardeschi. Some who started are still out there for Spurs, and they may be feeling it at the moment. It's in towards Higuain, now to Zoko. Lucas Moura, a little step over from him. It was a really good finish from Lucas Moura. And let's not forget, managed to get himself 15 goals last season. And a really good option for Spurs because he can play wide and up front if Harry Kane's not available. But then Ndombele's the man who has made his impact here. Kane trying to get away from De Ligt. Still Harry Kane. Another chance here. It's swept towards goal. But this is some performance from Ndombele. He's only been on the pitch 3 minutes and he nearly sweeps one beyond Szczesny.
He's had a great impact. A strange running gait, hasn't he, in terms of when he's jogging back. Looks like he's been out there for an hour already. But confidence, brilliant first pass to create the goal. And the belief to try and strike from that sort of distance.
A little nudge here from Foyth, and it's going to be a free kick. Juve try and catch out Spurs here. They have moved this quickly. Bernardeschi's on the edge of the penalty area, beautifully read by Vertonghen. It goes long up towards Lucas Moura, who's deceptively good in the air for his height. Nearly wins it up against De Ligt at centre-back.
The one area that people talked about, maybe a little bit of a weakness for De Ligt, which is surprising bearing in mind how big he is, but when Tottenham went direct in that Champions League semi-final, that's how they got back into the game, targeting him. So although he's got physical presence at 19, I don't think he's got that core strength yet, but no better place to get it than at Juve. And in fact, I've seen him warming up in training over this past week, and they were even working on his stretching, how he warms up in terms of doing it the Juve, the Italian way.
Rabiot, Pereira, now Bernardeschi's got a fierce left foot on him, no real angle to shoot. Desilio, Matuidi towards goal. Desilio again. Being checked by Rolls. Georgiou up in the air. Kane getting touch tight to De Ligt, who does enough here. Did think De Ligt was going to end up at Barcelona with his very good friend who's also made that move, Frankie de Jong.
Two gifted players, Frankie de Jong especially as well in terms of a playmaker. Been great to see them both develop at Ajax in so much of the Eredivisie over the last couple of seasons, and they've been a reason why Ajax have got back to the top.
Higuain. Maybe on support, trying to work the crossing angle, but eventually shut down by Georgiou, and it will be a corner to Juve. João Cancelo couldn't quite get the angle to flick that into the box. Chilio, Pereira, bit of space here for Bernardeschi, who can pop them with his left boot, and sure enough he stings the gloves of Gazzaniga. Higuain still alive here for Juve. Oh, beautiful touch from Kane, and rolls his away, and he looks around, he's all on his own. Here comes the young substitute, through the legs of De Ligt, and then absolutely thumped into, well, that was an aggressive challenge from Matuidi. Spurs want a free kick that they're not getting.
It's got to be a free. I enjoy the physical side of the game, of course, but listen, if the referee's made a decision, he's going to let them situations play.
We're about to see George Marsh as well for Spurs. Under academy product.
That's great to see these young players coming through. It's something that Tottenham have to do. They had an issue last season where not enough homegrown talent. They couldn't fill that Champions League designated list. They were short on a couple of players, And the very fact that Trippier's gone now, Rose is potentially going as well, it weakens them further, so they need to strengthen.
Here is 17-year-old Harvey White from the academy, the Maidstone-born player. Keen cricketer too. He only turned 18 in September, creative midfield player. We'll see exactly where he goes in here, because Cole Walker-Peters is one of those to have come off. And Marsh is on as well, who's another central midfielder, really day in, day out, who made his debut for Spurs against Tranmere in the FA Cup. So we'll try and gauge exactly what Spurs are doing with their shape at the moment. As the trusted backroom staff, Miguel Agostino, Jesus Perez and Tobin Jimenez, Pochettino's allies. Pereira, Marsh, I think he's done enough here. Matuidi, Higuain, Bernardeschi again, and Foyth will let that run through to his international teammate. Looks like Marsh is at right back.
If you're a young centre-half or a young centre midfielder, you're always pushed out into those full-back positions early on in your career.
Pretty sure Steven Gerrard's first appearances for Liverpool were
right back, you're right.
Sissoko. Foyth. Tried to turn there on Ndombele, bit of pressure on him, but lips away from Matuidi. Fairly one back, Marsh into Kane. Skip.
Really enjoyed his performance, really tenacious in that midfield area. I think he's going up against World Cup winners and Matuidi. Not looked out of place, has he?
Certainly not, as he helps Spurs stretch the play here. Marsh into Lucas Moura, has a bit of space around the area. He won't be afraid to shoot, but he decides to lay it off to Rolls. Well, that would have been a great moment for Jack Rolls, who's a goal-scoring midfielder, creates a lot too. 11 strikes in the under-23s last season. The 20-year-old, though, hits it straight at Szczesny this time.
If you're a young player making your way in the game, you've got a great opportunity if you're at Tottenham under Pochettino. He's done it before, done it when he first started out in management at Espanyol, certainly done it at Southampton, created so many England internationals, and doing exactly the same at Tottenham now.
Bernardeschi just to get onto his left. Played to Matuidi. Foyth. Really well read by Rolls. Spurs have moved this beautifully out of their own penalty area. Now they open up the pitch. It will be kept in by Marsh. Into the feet of Lucas Moura. Some move this from Spurs. Moura denied by De Ligt. And the final touch actually came off the Brazilian goal kick.
Brilliant play by Tottenham from deep in their own half, played it out, confidence, and then created that switch of play. But look at this ball in here to Moura, and this is what De Ligt, you'd say, normally has to work on, because he's so big. Can he work his feet quick from left to right against someone who's as quick as Moura? Did it brilliantly there.
So it changes now, and I think Miralem Pjanic is coming up that central midfield area along with Blaise Matuidi, so it will be a double change. Grigoris Castanos is coming on, and so is Simone Muratore. So Muratori, a defensive midfield player from the academy, who's yet to play a competitive game, although he was on the Spurs on the bench against Spurs in the Champions League 17-18. And then Castanos, who's a 21-year-old Cypriot international, is coming on. Cooling break at this point, 15 minutes to go. We're headed for penalties. Gary, bring your thoughts at this stage on Juve 2, Spurs 2.
Been a good game. It's not exactly played at the tempo you'd expect, but there's reasons for that. It's very early on in their pre-season. You feel Tottenham are slightly ahead of Juventus in terms of the season starting quicker, so they've gone back to pre-season, and it shows a little bit, but there's no doubt in the quality both teams have. You give an opportunity more often than not, ends up in the back of the net.
There's a man who put Juve 2-1 up. Cristiano Ronaldo alongside Leonardo Bonucci on the bench. I'm pretty sure he's a match fit all season round, Cristiano Ronaldo. On the Juventus bench, by the way, as well, a young English striker in Steffi Mavididi, 20-year-old, who was at the
praise his own as such, but you need to be on your toes. You need to read them situations. Not as if Higuain's got the pace to run away from you at centre forward anyway.
Pereira. Marsh. And flicked on by Lucas Moura, who should have had a penalty prior to his equalising goal for 2-2. Bernardeschi. Looks like he's getting the full 90 minutes. Cilio has waited that nicely for Bernardeschi. Marsh trying to recover. Bernardeschi and Higuain in the middle, and headed away by Foyth. Penalties beckon into the 89th minute of the game. Bernardeschi, tidy by Vertonghen. White. Foul on Kane, who has faith in his ability to use his body to shield the ball.
Morale's not happy. See those scowling eyes. His young centre-half has got to learn that you can't win every ball in front, and Harry Kane, as you quite rightly said, he's got real physicality. I don't think it's particularly natural, but he's worked so hard on his physique over the years that he is a strong man now.
Marsh. Back to Sissoko. Skip. Played really well, Skip. And Rolls tried to slip that into Lucas Moura.
Oh, this is a concern. At first I thought Skip had pulled his hamstring late on in the game. Maybe he's just rolled an ankle.
Well, you'd actually hope it was cramp, potentially, but it was an unusual way to jump up there as he then tried to get possession.
Cramp at his age?
90 minutes pre-season, first game. No? You're not having it.
Not at that age, no.
Is back into the middle. Juve hitting the reset button on it. 4 additional minutes.
Whatever it is, he's down. Should kick the ball out for him now.
So Skip will receive some treatment, and Spurs are actually going to make a change now. As Jamie Bowden is coming on as a defensive midfield player. He'll probably just slot in there. Spurs fan who's been with the club since the age of 6, so he'll get some game time now. Who are the individual players, Gary, for these respective teams?
Skip's impressed me. That's why I'm really hoping that this isn't an injury that curtails his pre-season, and whether or not he challenges for that. He's talking to Pochettino now, gets a cuddle off his manager, and rightly so. Really impressive. A lot of his work is unseen, but you notice it nevertheless. Not necessarily around the ball, but every time the ball was cleared, he seemed to pick it up and start Tottenham's momentum going forward again. So impressive, absolutely.
So a chance now for young Bowden, who's 18 years of age. He actually played in the pre-season friendly against Girona last year. He can also play at centre-back. Never know, he may have to take a penalty here. On by Cilio, who's also played the full game.
Those young players, I think Poch would be delighted. He's given this type of experience in front of this type of supporters on this stage against this type of opposition. Tanganga at centre-half didn't put a foot wrong, did he? No. Bearing in mind he's up against elite level centre-forwards. I like Parrott, of course, with Slightly biased, well not slightly, very biased. But nevertheless, I'd try and give an honest appraisal, and I thought he was excellent in terms of his hold-up play. I can see him being there was an opportunity here.
Kane, what has he just done? Incredible! What a goal to win it! Szczesny's caught out. Harry Kane has scored the goal of this tournament. That is extraordinary. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Juventus 2. How did he come up with that? Very special indeed.
What a strike. He came out of it because he's always looking for opportunities. And he's noticed that the ex-Arsenal goalkeeper Szczesny is off his line. And he has hit it so early, steps onto it. Mora does brilliant hunting, doesn't even look at the goal, knows where the keeper will potentially be standing. And as that's floated back, Szczesny is in all sorts of trouble. It's the perfect strike. As soon as he hits it, he knows it's in.
That is absolutely insane. Harry Kane from the halfway line, and Spurs have won the game. And what a finish to a brilliant game, Gary Breen.
It really has been so enjoyable, and you're right, an exceptional goal by an exceptional goal scorer. The vision to even see it, just to be aware, you know that your second line of attack, your midfielders are always pressing. That's the way Tottenham play, so you have to be alert to anything that breaks to you. The ball falls to him, he doesn't even look at the goal because he knows where Szczesny is. It's all well and good seeing it, but can you execute it? And he did brilliantly. What a goal.
Well, we've nearly had the 4 minutes. Juve must be absolutely shell-shocked after that. João Cancelo, we're not done here. We were calling it an incredible winner, but Juve are on the hunt for the equaliser. That is it. Tottenham Hotspur have won their first game of pre-season in the most extraordinary style. Harry Kane from the halfway line floats the ball over Wojciech Szczesny. The former Arsenal keeper could do nothing about it. And what an ending to a brilliant game in which both teams led at times. Ronaldo on the score sheet, Higuain, Lucas Moura as well for Spurs, and Eric Lamela. But the two can enjoy that one because it really was something else. Spurs move on to their next game of the International Champions Cup, which will come against Manchester United. But Harry Kane, having missed opportunities from close range throughout the course of the game, when he came onto the break, got his goal late on, and he deserves the congratulations.